Now, let's turn to another issue, the issue of Nazanin Zaghari-Ratcliffe, and whether or not, as we mentioned briefly in one of the previous interviews, that money should have been paid to Iran. Scarlett Mccgwire, your view on this. Should money have been paid to Iran in what was, the government insists, a parallel transaction, not one that is exactly involved?
And, of course, we all believe the government on this one. Yeah, it was a debt. It was a debt that the government agreed that they owed Iran. Of course they should have paid it. What's so terrible is how long they took to pay it while this woman was locked up. And actually, she'll never quite recover. I mean, her life, I'm sure that it's wonderful that she's back, and she's back with her daughter. And I have to say, her husband, who has just played a blinder and deserves everything. But you know, you don't recover from what she's been through completely. It's going to, as people keep saying, this is the beginning of a journey. This government could have paid that money. It was owed to Iran. It's been owed for decades. There was no question about it. It was found by an international court. And actually, instead, we played politics for years.
Sam Ashworth-Hayes, your view on that, because there is a contestation here, which is that this was money that was dealt with, the transaction was with a previous regime before the Iranian Revolution. Does that hold water in your book?
So my understanding, and from memory, is that the position of the government has basically been that we will pay the money at some point, but we don't want to pay it to this current regime. We certainly don't want them using it in ways that we would disapprove of. I think something that's worth saying here in response to Scarlett is that we really do not want to set a precedent whereby we tell people that actually, if you take British citizens hostage, we are perfectly willing to pay £393 million to get them back. Oh, sorry, you want to?
But it was a debt. That's what. Of course, the Iranians behaved appallingly. It was a debt that we owed them, and we gave them the moral high ground.
I think the thing with this is you can have a debt that you aren't going to be paying until the conditions are met for it to be paid. To then sort of go back on this in exchange for getting someone back is setting a terrible precedent in terms of, you don't negotiate with hostage takers, you don't negotiate with these regimes in this way.